Where do we start? Honestly, the American election is like the world's best and worst soap opera all at the same time. Revelations of the last week since we last talked about this, which was Donald Trump's Trump tapes. We won't go any further into the details. Everyone knows what he said now, which led into a debate on Sunday night American time, Monday afternoon New Zealand time. And it's gone on and on and on since then. I think what we'll do to start off with is show you what the latest polls say. This is a poll that came out after the debate. It was after the actual tapes came out, but before the debate, right? So this is before the debate. And the first one, which was an NBC poll, had Clinton up by 11 against 4 people. And the next poll had her up one-on-one against Donald Trump by 14. So that's head-to-head, she's up by 14, and against all 4 of them, she's up by 11. Since then, I had a look just as we were coming to film these. There's another NBC poll out today that has Clinton up by 10, and an Atlantic poll that has her up by 11.
I'm not buying it. I mean, you just cannot underestimate the stupidity of the Trump voters. But I agree with you. It's become like you've even forgotten that there's an election. Now it just seems to be a long reality TV show featuring a baboon and a woman who's very sensible.
A baboon.
A baboon. It's hard to even start thinking that what they're talking about is the next presidency of the United States of America, who have got bombs.
Yeah, it's big bombs too.
Yeah.
It's also really interesting to have a look at the process as to what happened. I mean, Donald Trump has tried to change the conversation around his sexual assault allegations, which is what he, in the tapes, there is no question, what he is saying is, I sexually assault women. Now, he's trying to deny that, but when you sexually molest, attack, even kiss a woman without their consent, it's a sexual assault.
And then he made it worse by saying that the remarks were made 10 years ago, you know, when he was just a juvenile 60 years old.
Yeah, I know. And can I say, I played sport from primary school days through to beyond my university days. I've been in many, many, many lockers. That is not locker talk.
No,
that is sadomasochism.
It's
a rape culture. It's absolutely what it is. And when he was challenged at the debate by Anderson Cooper, Anderson Cooper said, "Do you realise what you're saying is a sexual assault?" He went, "No, it's not what I said. You didn't hear it. It's just locker room banter." It's not locker room banter.
Yeah, you have to wonder actually whether his grasp on reality is a little tenuous.
So the timeline was, of course, the Trump tapes came out. The Trump apology came out 12 hours later, and in the apology he accused Bill Clinton of doing a whole bunch of things well, so it wasn't actually an apology. And then, of course, just before the debate, he has a debacle of a press conference that featured Kathy Shelton, Paula Jones, Kathleen Wiley and Juanita Broderick, all people who have an axe to grind against the Clintons. And I'm not saying whether it's valid or not, their axe to grind. They were there and they made accusations. Now, what's going to happen, just so as everyone is aware, this is the prediction, right? See, Hillary Clinton not too long ago said that survivors of sexual abuse need to be heard and need to be believed, right? So what the Trump campaign has done is they've brought out these women who have accusations of sexual violations in various forms against Bill Clinton, and they're saying, well, hang on, you said that survivors of sexual assault need to be believed and heard. Why aren't you believing these women? Now, what's going to happen next, and it is actually already starting to happen, is that women are going to come out, and this is my opinion, albeit I can read some accusations already for you, but women are now going to come out and start to accuse Trump of sexual assault. That will come next, and then the Trump campaign is going to say, no, it didn't happen, although they've just said they need to be believed against Bill Clinton. So that's the next stage of this.
Notwithstanding all of these fantastic circus sideshows, what is going to happen? Is he going to win?
I think the chances of him winning now are next to nil. Although she seems to be up in the polls, by some polls double digit, it doesn't quite work like that. In New Zealand, all that matters is the party vote. All that matters is that national vote, because that dictates how many seats you get. In America, every state you win allocates you some seats. So if you win 51% of the state, you get all of the votes from that state. So it's a bit like first past the post, but state by state by state. But once you get to a double digit lead, what that basically means is each of those individual states have swung across to one person or not. So it's very, very unlikely that Trump is going to win today. There is 4 weeks to go though. Anything could happen. I just think that the pendulum of the likelihood of winning has gone backwards and forwards a little bit. It's been on Clinton's side for a while, and I've said this the last couple of times we've talked about the election. It seems to me that at the last election, the concern from the Republicans. In fact, the Republican Party was writing about it, saying we need to get back minorities, we need to get back the youth, and we need to get back women. If we can't get those three back, we're not going to win again. And I think the events of the last 4, 5, 6 days, let alone 4, 5, 6 months, lead to a more likely scenario that they are never going to win those people back under someone like Trump. So, I mean, I called it in August of last year, or the year before actually, that it would be a Clinton win. I think it's more likely to be a Clinton win now than ever.
Fingers crossed.